real people, real conversation. Week to week, this the place to get your inspiration. Go and sit back and unwind, sipping on your coldest glass of wine. This the home of girl bosses and the warriors. Went from tragedy to triumph and it's glorious. Ain't no question if they ask, they got that fire. This the podcast that came to Aspire. Welcome to Aspire Podcast, home of the real.
What's good? We made it. We made it.
Hey guys, hey everybody. It's Aspire Podcast. Listen, I'm not we had some technical issues, so I'm not even gonna waste our time. Introduce yourself, please. Tell everybody who you are.
My name's Joel, aka You Heard First. Um, I deal with a lot of independent artists. That's like my thing, really. A lot of upcoming artists and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm originally from Brooklyn. I've been in Boston for over 20 years now.
I'm from
and
Brooklyn.
this is what we do. We love music. We love hip hop. And we appreciate you having me on the show today. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you coming. I need you to tell people because I know you work with independent artists. I know you push music, but I want you to tell me a little bit about how that came about. Like, how'd you start that? Because you're from Brooklyn, which, listen, Brooklyn, me too. So
Yeah.
So tell me how that got started.
Okay, so actually, I'm so there was a group back in the days, and they called Group Home. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them, but
Mm-mm.
they're under the Gangstar Foundation. Rest in peace, Gangstar. He's not with us anymore.
Okay. Mhm.
Um, and this was the early '90s. They were popular. It was like the golden era type of thing. And I grew up with them. We lived on the same block. So I was always around that stuff. Like, and when Gangstar used to come to the block and stuff like that, like I caught love for hip hop. I used to go to my man, like the Group Home. They used to have video shoots and stuff like this. Is early '90s actually, and
I was just a child.
they were so yeah. So and that's how I fell in love with hip hop. To be honest with you,
when so you just grew up with this group, and then what made it turn into okay? I'm gonna help put independent artists. Like it's a whole movement that you have. So it didn't start like it maybe started there, but what made you want to have the Jew Heard First movement? Like it's a whole thing. So what made you want
I
to get
so
that
so we'll
far?
get so to get to that part exactly. So I actually my son is also an artist, and his
Okay.
name is Droza. And he start when he's hit like 16 or 17 or something like that. The kid now he's like 26 now, but when he was like 16 or 17, he started writing rhymes and stuff, and rapping, and he started liking rap. So I'm like, you know what, I never again, I grew up around hip hop. All my friends is hip hop, they're all musicians. I never rapped or anything like that. I was always around it though. So when he got into it, I was like, you know what? Maybe I could help you out. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of people in the industry and all of that. And he's pretty good at it, to be honest with you. And I'm not just saying that because he's my son, but
No, I get it. I get it. Talent is
he's
talent,
good at
right?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my motivation right there. When my son started writing, I thought it would be a great opportunity at that point for me to like plug him in again because I am hip hop. I'm born and raised. I mean all elements. I'm from break dancing to graffiti to like everything. I am a true definition of hip hop. I like
That's
to
how I
think so
so
anyway.
like the culture for me is everything. I grew up Brooklyn in the 80s and 90s, of course. And then like with me it was just like a passion. Like you didn't know um anything. Like I love all kinds of music, but when it came to hip hop, it was just like I love the culture. I love like the artistry behind it. I love the poetry behind it. Hip hop is everything, right? Like you said
Yeah,
graffiti. When you think graffiti, you think hip hop. Just that's just the way it is. So
that's
growing
right.
up, and I want to go back to like your childhood. Like
Okay.
because people who push like you push so many people, you support so many artists. I always feel like there's a reasoning behind it. Yeah, your son, but there's also like something in your childhood. Yes, I'm gonna get deep, so don't judge me.
It's
I'm
all
gonna
good.
ask you deep
It's all
question. I
good.
told you I was gonna ask, but like,
All good.
what in your childhood made you want to push so that other people succeed?
That's a good question, actually. I don't know. Again, like, I know a lot of people in this game, so when it's the aftermath of it all. So like when I plug somebody in, or if I get somebody, I'm promoting them
Hmm.
and I'm putting them out there, and I see that they start to grow, or it's working, or I get a kick off of that. That's a
I
pleasure for me.
That's what I wanted you to say. I figured that. I don't even know you. Like, this is the first time I see him in, like, on camera like this. Obviously we follow each other, but I already knew that, like, that's your passion. It's not even about like just hip hop. It's just like to see someone else succeed, knowing that you had a small part is why you do it. That's really
You
why.
already know.
I mean, why
You
do we
already
do
know.
anything, right? Like to see success in some way. Um what made you call it you Jew heard first? Because I even named the podcast this for today. But what made you call it that? Like what inspired
So
that?
I mean, it's just slang for like you
Yeah,
heard it
yeah, yeah, yeah.
first.
You heard?
Yeah, you heard. You know what I mean? So I say that all the time too. I'm always like,
You
you
are from
heard.
Brooklyn then. You are from Brooklyn. Boston has
Yeah,
nothing on that. Like you are from Brooklyn if you are always saying that, because that's all of my family. I was
yeah,
like, oh, I'm gonna
yeah.
have the you heard first guy, and they're like, what? I'm like, you gonna see. Um, what
But
motive?
whereabouts in Brooklyn
Go
y'all
ahead.
from?
I grew up in Bay Ridge area, so I actually moved like when I was little, like Sunset area, like on
Yeah,
41st. You know where
yeah.
that is, 41st and Third Avenue, like right there. And then I moved more deep into Bay Ridge before I moved into Florida.
That's funny that you say that because I actually went to school in
Did you
that
really?
area, the Bay Ridge. I went to John Jay High School.
S-
You familiar with
Okay,
that?
my siblings went. My older siblings went to John Jay. I went to
Really?
Dewey for a little bit. I went
Yeah.
to PS 169. I'll never forget PS 169 when I was in the hood, and then I went to Dewey before I
Say
moved here.
word.
Yeah, yeah. It was
Okay, okay. BK in the
okay.
house.
See, finally, I guess because listen, everybody's from the Bronx. I'm gonna show a little hate. I love the Bronx because that's where my dad's side of the family is, but that's not home. You know. So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
what made you move to Boston? I'm nosy.
So nah, it's all good. It's all good. Again, in the early '90s, my so I don't want to go too crazy, but my cousin is from here.
Hmm.
So my cousin, he's from out here, and he would always come to New York to visit. And when we got a little bit older, I don't know, it's not too that's not
Life,
too
life just
positive.
flipped you there.
I don't want to put I don't
But
put
that's the
negative
whole point
energy
of
out
this.
there.
That's the whole point of the podcast. Maybe it wasn't positive back then, but look what you turned it into. So that's the point. Like, I love to see like a shitstorm turn into like a beautiful thing. I really do. That's the story of my life. So tell me
Me too.
the
That's the story of
shitstorm.
my
So
life.
exactly, that's the whole point, is that to become something greater, right? So you did that.
Yeah.
So you
So
moved over there
so
for
he
a
used to
shitty
come
reason,
through.
but yeah.
Yeah, he would come through and he's like, yo, you gotta come to Massachusetts. There's a lot of money over there, blah 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 blah. One thing led to another. I ended up coming out here and I liked it. And I kind of been out here. And then I met my first son's mother and I had my first child.
Okay.
And that's the beginning of the story right there.
But hip hop, what's the difference between the culture in Boston versus in Brooklyn? It's different. I've been to
It's
both.
a big, big,
Different.
big difference.
So
Yeah,
what's the
yeah.
difference for you?
So, I mean, we the originators of hip hop. Hip hop was birthed.
Wait, hold on. Say it louder. Say it louder.
We the originators of hip hop. It was birthed in New York. You know what I mean?
I love New York for just for that. Like the music, it's untouchable. I don't care what anybody says. All music, not just hip hop. All music is just different over there. Like the people,
For real.
the way people love the culture of all. We're talking hip hop, so fine hip hop. it's crazy different than you go. I mean, I've been to Boston, I've been to all kinds of places. That's where it's at. So it's
Yeah.
surprising that you have such a passion for hip hop and push hip hop, but then you moved over there. That's why I had to ask. Because it's like, okay, Boston, what's over there in terms of music? But
Yep.
but
Yep.
is there a big
I
scene
mean,
out there?
I mean, low key, I can't knock Boston all the way because I
Yeah.
do know a lot of musicians out of Boston, a lot of rappers
Hmm.
out of Boston, and they nice too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
It's just different.
again,
Hmm.
like we was, it's different. And again, like I was saying, hip hop was originated in New York. We are the soul keepers of hip hop.
I love that you said that. I'm not, I know I'm pissing everybody off, but listen. There's just something about it. There's just something about, and I like in Orlando. I will say, because no hate, there's beautiful there's so many great artists in Orlando where I live. Like there's so many. Florida really does have a lot of talent, but there's just something about that swag, something about the lyricism from New York that for me it's untouchable. But we'll move forward. So, what makes you continue? Like you started this, your son, is he still doing it? Is he still rapping? Is he still in the game?
He's
Okay.
still, yeah, he's still in the game. He still raps. He actually moved. He's older now. He's a
Mhm.
little bit older. He got a girlfriend, and he moved to Texas. So he's actually living in Texas now,
Wow.
which is crazy.
I don't hear a
Yeah,
lot
it's
about
crazy.
hip hop out there. I'm sure there is. I have a guest that's coming on at the end of the month. He's in Texas now, so shout out Baby J. He's over there
Mhm.
on TV. There's a lot of like, but I'm saying even though hip hop for me is New York, there's so much talent all over. Like people are traveling everywhere to do it. It's not just like a one-sided East Coast thing. Obviously, the West Coast has amazing artists too, but like I'm seeing it in the Midwest. I'm seeing Indiana with some good artists, like a lot of
Absolutely.
places. Who is your favorite rapper? Ah,
I'm old school
mm-hmm.
again. Um, I love me some Jay Z. Pause. You know, I like Jay Z.
If you didn't say Jay Z, I'd be a little surprised. I mean, he's not my favorite rapper. I do have a lot of respect for his music and the culture. For me, it's Nas. Something about
uh,
Nas. I mean,
Nas
you
is
can't.
crazy.
He's
Nas.
so different. He's just like stands out from a lot. I like Mos Def. Like I like artists that probably don't get that much notoriety. But I mean, I love Jay Z's music. Ah,
Most definitely smooth too, though.
I love him. There's something about
Mm.
him. Um, I don't know. There's just a few albums of his that I'm just like nobody. There's nobody that sounds like him. Like you put
Yeah,
him on, and you're gonna know it's him. Just like Nas. I'm sorry, but nobody can touch his lyrics. Nobody
yeah.
can touch
Nas
him.
is nasty. Yeah, yeah,
Nasty.
yeah,
Yes. Um,
yeah.
who would you say is your favorite when it comes to? Cause like there's rapping, you could write all day, right? But
Yeah.
freestyle, like who do you think is good at that?
Freestyling.
Hmm.
I like. He
They don't gotta
older
be
now,
mainstream,
but
but yeah.
I like Cam. I like Cam,
Hmm.
and the whole
Okay.
Dipset,
That's a
Jim
whole different
Jones,
ball game when someone could just grab the mic and just off rip. I have so much
right?
respect. I have somebody that I know here. Actually been on the show, and like just off rip to come up with like clever lyrics because they got to be clever. If you're just off the top of your head throwing something out, for me it has to be clever. I don't need rhyming. Like there's some people that just need that. I don't need that.
Mm.
I just need you to tell me something that I'm like, oh shit, you thought of that right off the top of your head? Yeah. What's your favorite album of all time?
Favorite album
You
of
have to
all.
have one that just stands out. You
Uh,
don't think Blueprint or
not
nothing like
not
that?
Nas or My Beat. They both had great albums in the early '90s,
The best. I thought you were gonna
right?
say something from Jay Z or something. I mean, there's a
Was
few
Jay
good
Z too?
albums there. There's like, yeah, there's some you can't
Yeah,
touch.
yeah. You
When
already.
it comes to this kind of business, because you run it like a business, or do you? Because I'm asking. I don't even
Yes,
know.
I do. Actually, I have a LLC for the
Okay,
name and
okay,
everything, so I do
okay.
run it exactly like a business.
And what's next for it? Like, what would you do in the near future? What do you want to do, or do you want to change anything when it comes
You
to it?
know, I mean, I honestly, I like the clothing. I like to
Okay.
get some clothing and stuff, but you gotta be. I really gotta. I ain't ready for that just yet, but I would like to put out some nice clothing. I probably have to change up the name or something for the clothing as well.
You don't gotta do nothing. I mean, I have some like a little bit of merch, but a
Yeah,
whole clothing line would be so dope
right,
that you can like
right.
and men and women. I'm giving you tips, men and women, because a lot of people think that women are not in this industry, but women are
Not,
in.
I be
Not even
knowing.
just
Nah, I be
rapping,
knowing.
but like love the culture. I know so many people that you wouldn't even think, like people look
Yeah.
at me, they're like, what do you know about hip hop? But I love it. It's like literally a passion of mine. I do.
And then you crush them when you hit them with
Or when I
all the
know
stuff.
some, well, I'm not a rapper, but
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I
That's
could
right.
write
That's
some
right.
lyrics and have somebody else rap. I'll do that all day. I love to write, but I'm not good. Like on the way here, I was like, all right, let me motivate myself. I put on a little Nas and I started rapping, and
No,
I'm
you.
laughing because I'm like, yo, you would think I'm like this person that knows how to rap. No, not even a little. Not even a little. You never thought of rapping? You never thought of being a musician in that way?
Nah, it's always been around me. I never did it myself or even attempted to do it, but it's always been around me. Like one of my best friends is also an artist,
Mm-hmm.
and he's who I've been working with a lot. We actually doing a video shoot February 2nd in
Okay.
Brooklyn, in front of the old dirty bastard
Ah,
mural
stop. Really?
and Biggie's mural, and we're gonna do a
That's
couple
gonna be so
different scenes.
good. I
Yes,
love it.
yes,
I
it's gonna
gotta
be
go
nice.
back to Brooklyn. I was there not last year. 2023 was the last time I was there in November.
Uh,
But I need to get like when you go out there, it's just a different vibe. It's a whole different ball game, even when it comes to like just the arts in general. So how I want to talk about how does your business work? Like, do you? It's just like randomly you're like, okay, look, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna help you. Do people reach out to you? Like, because I have a friend that helps artists get their name out there a little bit. But how does your business work?
Same idea, same idea. People do reach out to me, and I also network a lot too.
Hmm.
Honestly, I'm on all the social media platforms all the time, and I actually got somebody else that runs another page for me, so I'm consistently going with it. I reach out to some artists if I like them, but I also have a lot of artists that I know that they always send me stuff. They'll send me stuff, and yo, can you blog this up for
And
me
so
or
they
something
send
like
you
that?
music. Do you help them hone their craft? Like, do you help them get better in the industry, better with their talent? Or is it just pretty much just promotional stuff that you do?
No, no, it's not just promotional stuff. We're in the studio as well. We're making the music from scratch. Like,
Okay.
we make music too.
Okay.
There's a lot of promotion going on and marketing and all of that.
I
But
need to be on your
honestly,
level. I'm not good. Like, I'm not good at selling myself. This is what I do. Like, but I don't know. And that
nah,
just
but you
comes with
good at
time,
what you
too.
do, though. I'll tell you that.
I don't know. I just talk. I'm a good talker. I was telling my
Hey,
best friend, I was like, dang, I could talk. But I'm not good at like constantly be on social media and marketing and also networking. So I do like people. Like I love to meet people and whatever, but I'm not out there. So I need to get to your level for sure. As I get
hey,
my wine poured. Thank
you
you.
got that. You could do that. You got this.
Do you have other people? You said somebody else runs your other page.
Yeah.
Okay. Who like is that somebody that's works for you or just
Yeah,
I need to have
I
something
actually
like
tagged
that.
Espresso Black.
Okay.
I tagged them on one of your posts.
Okay. Okay. So
Not
that's
that.
him.
So
Okay. And
that's my
he
other guy.
helps.
Yeah.
Is he just like your like IG or
He's
social
also
media?
an
Yeah.
artist. He's
Okay.
also an artist.
Okay.
So we get busy with the marketing and promotion and stuff, but he's also an artist, and he's also when I was saying that we make music,
Yeah.
from scratch.
Okay.
He's one of the artists that we in the studio cooking up
Okay.
some
How
some
often
fire.
how often are you in the studio?
Couple times a month at least.
Okay.
Couple times a
So
month at least.
I give my hat to people that work on music like that because that's not easy. And like to come
No,
up with
no.
music, like beats, the lyrics, like a concept altogether. Like I have a lot of friends that are artists, and I just have so much respect for people that do that kind of work, because I could think of a concept maybe for a music video, but to come up with a whole album that goes and flows together, all of that kind of stuff. I wish I even knew more about it, because I know a lot about music, but and I do, maybe I could understand what sounds good, but I could never put a beat together. Like I don't even know how that works.
You'll get it. Spend
Shout
some
out to
time in the
you for
studio.
sure.
You'll get that.
And so, is it you, or you're the sole like person that owns the company? Like, how does that work? Do you have other
Yes.
people? Like, run me through that. How does
No,
that
no.
work?
It's it's my company. It's definitely my company. I'm about 4 years in now
Okay.
with my LLC, and again, this all started with my
Just
son.
the
So
love.
when my son started getting into the music, I really took it. I wanted to take it to another level and get a little bit more serious with it, with intentions on trying to get him.
Do you? Sorry to interrupt, but do you run it like if it was like a production company in that
Yes,
sense?
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
That's what I wanted to know. Damn, that's really dope. It, now I need
Thank
to
you.
go to
Thank you.
Boston. When I know people in Boston. I have
You
some
already know.
family.
You already
Listen, we
all
got to
day.
do this. Do you guys book shows too?
I haven't been successful lately with that. Out here in Boston, they already got. I don't know what it
It's
is,
like you
to be
got to
honest
know
with you.
somebody that knows somebody or something like that. Cause I feel
Yeah.
like in New York, even actually in Florida, in Orlando, like it's easier to book shows. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm saying like as long as you network and know people, you're probably gonna book a show somewhere. You know what I mean? But it's
Yeah.
all about who you know. In this industry, period, it's all
Facts.
about who you know.
So true. So true. So true.
What's the
Yes.
hardest thing in running this type of business for you?
Oh, trying to keep everybody happy.
Because people
That
are
it's
pussy.
impossible. It's impossible. I try anyway, over and over. I'm never. It just doesn't work. You can't keep everybody happy. You know
No.
what I'm saying? So that's
Keeping
definitely
everybody
a hard
happy
part.
doesn't run your business. I had to learn
Exactly.
that the hard way. Cause like I'm running this like a business, and I'm gonna join it with my. I want to do my nonprofit all together in this kind of thing. I LLC'd my business too, um, but if you're worried about keeping people happy, you're gonna lose it all. Like I learned that the hard way. I haven't even
Yeah.
been doing this for it's been less than 2 years. Um, but I learned it the hard way fast, that if you're worried about making everybody happy, you lose all your success, because it's not really about if they're happy with you. More people will pay attention to you when they're pissed off at you than anything else. That's just the truth. Even if it's hating, even if it's for the hate, they'll pay
Yeah.
attention. So at
The
least you got their
attention's there.
attention, right? That's how I see it. Like, you
That's
got to
true.
think differently. I used to care so much, right? You care so much about people pleasing, but then you got no business, and then everybody else has elevated and everybody else has done their thing, and you're stuck with nothing. So, um, what would you say is the hardest part about running the actual business portion of it? Is it marketing? Is it like, networking? Is it, what is it for you?
I would say marketing. Yeah, marketing.
You're
Definitely the
good at it
marketing.
though. Everywhere I
I
go, I'm like, you heard first, Post. You
Oh, nah,
heard.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm
And you work a
trying.
full time job too on top
I
of
I
this?
do have a full time
Listen,
job.
me
Yes,
too.
yes.
Listen,
Yeah.
it's not easy. And you
No,
do
not at
way
all.
more. You do way more, but it's like, what's your goal? Do you eventually want to just do this? Like,
Yes.
okay.
I would love to actually get to the point where I have a steady flow coming in and I'm able to maybe live off of it,
Listen, we're
you
knocking,
know?
we're praying, all of that.
All that, all
Hmm.
that.
Does this
Yeah.
feed you more than any other thing you've ever done? Like, does this feed your soul? Are you more content doing this?
Yes.
Same.
True story.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Did you
Yeah.
have a hard upbringing? Did you have like a um? Because I feel like I really like if I don't know if you know any of my story, but like I had a really hard upbringing, and so like now in my life, I just want whatever feeds me, whatever makes me happy, whatever. Like, are you in that point in your life too?
Same as same as that. Yes, I'm definitely in that point of my life, and yes, I did have a hard upbringing. I got into a lot of trouble at a young age. I was in and out of jail early, and yeah, it's just been tough. It's not the world is not easy. Life ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? But over the years, like I got it together. And yes, to answer your question, this feeds my soul. I love it. I don't even, to keep it real with you, I ain't even at like the peak where I'm making good money or anything
Exactly.
like that.
Me neither.
I,
Listen, I'm not making a damn thing. Like, what little have I made is like it goes right back into the business, right? Um,
yes,
I was talking to shout out to D Rock, but I was talking to him. He was on my show for a couple weeks ago, and whether I have two people watching or 200 or nobody, like really no supporters, like I really just want to do this, and I don't give a
for the
like. It
love.
really truly is no matter who watches, no matter who supports, because I've already done things that everybody else wanted me to do. I already did the jobs and the schooling and the things just to feed my family, just to, make ends meet. Now I really want to just do this because I want to do it. Now, if I made money off of it,
Oh,
bye to my job. Sorry, but
yeah,
but
yeah,
really,
yeah.
right? Like, I'm not doing this for anything else, but I love it. I really do love it. But at the end of the day, if it paid my bills on top of that, that's icing on the cake. So you
Yes,
can do it.
ma'am. You
I feel
already
like
know.
it's just one thing away. Like we're one thing away from creating that bigger life. We just got to think bigger. But I'm so scared of being broke. Like, like scared of not, and not even for myself. I grew up poor as hell. We had nothing.
Mm,
I
mm,
didn't know it until I
thank-
moved. When I moved to Florida, I realized like, yo, we was poor, like really poor. Um,
uh,
so I'm not afraid of being poor. I'm afraid of not being able to take care of what I got to take care of. I got two boys, right? So
yeah,
that's really what it is. But if I had just me, I'll sleep at the studio. I'll tell Aunt to
yeah,
put a
yeah,
pillow. I don't care because I love it, right? So you do
yeah.
things like as you get older. I was talking to a friend of mine, and as you get older, it's like you become the person that you needed when you were young. So like I'm already became that. I feel like maybe you became that. So now it's time to be successful at what you want. That's all.
Ain't
You
that
got
the
you
truth? I
got
agree,
it.
100%.
You got it. What fuels you? You got family, right? So what fuels
Yeah,
you to do all these things?
my children as well. Um, I'm all about I'm I'm all about my kids. I'm a family man. You know, so yeah, honestly, it's the kids. Like what I mean. I wanna be able to hold them down. Maybe I could pass off the company or
That's what
something.
I
Who
was gonna
knows? You know what
ask
I mean?
you. Do you care about leaving a legacy? And if so, what's that legacy like? What would you leave behind?
Oh, you killing me with good questions. You
I
know
told you what.
that?
I warned everybody. Listen, I'm
Yeah,
gonna ask questions nobody asks, cause
yeah.
I just think weird. That's just how it is. But yeah,
So
I'd be thinking
yeah,
too.
I definitely would. I definitely is aiming for the legacy. I mean, I'm putting all the work in.
Mhm.
I want to be remembered for a lot of the work that I put in with this hip hop stuff or whatever. So yeah, as far as the legacy, yes. And what was the other question again?
Now I'm gonna ask the whole different question because you said
All
something
right,
that I love. You said
all
you want
right.
to be remembered. If you're gonna be remembered, what's the top thing that you want to be remembered for?
For always for never turning my back on people and always like trying to look out for anybody.
That's a good legacy. That's a legacy in itself. If you were remembered for just being that dude that was stable and that had your back, that's a good ass legacy. Forget the
You know
kids,
what I
okay?
mean?
But then you got the company on top of it. No, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like everybody wants to be remembered, but some people are remembered for shitty things they do. But if you're remembered for having a positive impact on somebody, even if it's just one person, then that's better than doing nothing with your life, right?
Right? Yes.
What's
Yes.
what's your I got all these questions, man.
Go ahead.
You,
I'm ready. I got
you're
you.
married, right? You post about your
Yes, ma'am.
wife. How does
Yes.
she feel about being in the industry? Because even if you're not rapping, you're around all that. Listen, the industry, the music industry is wild. Like, how does she feel, or does she feel anything when it comes to this? Is she supportive?
She's definitely supportive. She's not into hip hop herself like that. I mean, she listens to some hip hop, like like
Like the commercial
commercial,
music? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, like commercialized music or whatever. But honestly, she likes like rock, like you know what I mean. Like
Listen, I
she's
like a little bit
American.
of that too. So hey,
Yeah, nah, ain't nothing wrong with it. I like it too. Actually, I don't mind it neither.
but
But
besides the
she
hip
grew up.
hop, I'm sorry to cut you off, but besides
No,
the
that's all
hip
right.
hop, just in
Yeah.
being around the artists, being around that kind of vibe, not everybody's so supportive. Does she support that?
Yes.
Okay.
Nah, she's supportive. The wait, she not everybody's supportive, but what say that one more time, my fault.
What happened?
Wait, say that one more time.
No, I said not everybody. Like sometimes people could support that you do whatever you do. You're promoting music. But sometimes being in the limelight, being out there with the artists, working late, all that kind of stuff is not something easily supported. Like I can't say that I was always supported doing what I'm doing now. Um, I can't say that.
Yes.
but it's good that like I could tell that you have a supportive wife because you openly will have dialogue with people, you share things, and I don't feel like it comes from a place of malice. Like you actually really love this what you do, but I could tell that you're
Appreciate
supportive.
that. Appreciate that. It's the
Yeah.
truth. A lot, a lot of people are different. You know what I mean? Some
Mhm.
people malice. That word that you just used right there. Like people will come at you like that, but that's strictly business over here. You know what I mean?
And I could tell. I could tell. Listen, you're not on my show for no reason. I've said no to a
Appreciate
lot
you.
of people because, it comes from a place of being ingenuine. You could tell with people. That's why I say, oh, I knew that your wife was supportive because of the way you are. Because if you were having to sneak, and I've talked about this with other artists, like they were in relationships where they had to sneak their music, or they were in the studio late nights hiding stuff from their wives or girlfriends, or boyfriends. For me, I wasn't always supportive when I was about to start this, but I feel like now I have a great support system. But that matters because you can't do anything alone. Even though we want to say we want to do everything alone and be proud, you can't really do anything without some kind of support. That's why I knew that she was supportive. Like regardless, like if you told me no, I would have been shocked because I could tell because there's a different way that you operate. Even when you're speaking on social media, it comes from a place of like you really love doing what you do. So that's why. So I'm giving you your kudos and your
Appreciate that.
flowers because really,
Appreciate that.
yeah, yeah. And tell your
Appreciate
wife
that.
thank you because it's
Uh,
different. I've worked with people where they had to hide that, so it's real different. It's real special to have that. So good. Give her a
appreciate you
big
for that.
kiss later.
Appreciate you
I'm
for that.
serious. Give her a big kiss and be like, "See, we know." No.
You know what I
What
mean?
What is your favorite thing about networking with people?
Um, building, like growing, building together, like
Hmm.
not knowing somebody from the beginning and then actually
Creating that
establishing a
relationship.
relationship with
I love
with
it.
these people to the point where like again they're appreciating you, you appreciating them, and everybody helping each other. I love growth like that, because like you were saying too, one person can't do everything. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So if you got other people helping a situation, it just makes
Yeah.
life a lot easier.
I I when I say one person can't do anything, I was that person that was like, I got this. I'll do everything. Like I wasn't even in a studio. I started with a co-host, a friend of mine, and then it like, oh, we were doing it in the living room, and okay, I'll upload everything, I'll do all that. Eventually, it got too much because I was working full time. Obviously, I have my kids. Like I had to create like stability for my family. I was staying up all night trying to edit, trying to do all this stuff for the podcast. So then I came into the studio, got my studio manager. Like, you can't do anything alone. Like, I'd like
You
to think
killing it.
I
You killing it.
started this from scratch alone, but I definitely didn't. Like, it was a whole team effort. So, who's on your team? Who's people that you ride for you or whatever?
Um, I got. So I grew up. I got a few people that my childhood friends. I'm still friends with my childhood friends from
Same,
30 years ago. You know what I
same.
mean?
I'm a little
And
younger, so 25 years ago.
yeah. Nah, I
I
hear
be
you.
only
I hear
joking.
you.
I'm just joking. It's like I be telling everybody I'm a little young. Listen, I'm a vieja. I'm an old lady. I just like to
uh,
joke. It's the best feeling when you can bring, and a lot of my friends have either been on the show or supported in some way, but it's amazing to have like, because that's family. 20, 30 years is family, right? And
yes,
have
yes.
that, and they support and they build with you and they share your stuff. I mean, I could tell like you have a lot of people on your in your corner, because not even just from my post, but the amount of likes, the amount of like shares, the amount, like, it's crazy. I was watching, I was like, dang, people like him. It's not about
Thank
my
you,
show.
girl.
They really like you. I
I
was
think
like,
it's both.
okay.
It's both. It's both. A
Maybe,
little bit,
maybe it is. I
a
get
little bit of that, a
support,
little
but
bit of this.
I haven't got that much support. Yeah, people really root for you.
Oh, thank you.
Who inspires you?
What inspires me,
Hmm.
like in the music industry,
Anyone
in general,
in general.
go getters, people who are determined, and people who got hustle and that fire in them. I get, stuff like that that
Watch,
gets me going.
yeah, like watching someone like that for me too is like, dang, like I love that. I don't like people that easily are complacent. Like, I love you, but get your happy ass up and do something. No
Yeah,
matter what it is, I don't care what it is. And we're allowed our lazy days, but I love people that no matter what it is, I don't care what you do, but that love it, that keep going for it, that don't quit. Like, I love someone that doesn't give a
right,
damn who
right.
it is. They just keep chucking on, keep moving. I love that. Um, if it was in the music industry, who inspires you there?
Um, you know, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. There's an artist. He's from Boston. His name is Lou Armstrong.
Okay, shout out
And,
Lou.
yeah, shout out to Lou Armstrong. He's the same thing as he has his own little entity, and I like the way he handles that. Everything with the business and stuff like that. So I would have to say, yeah, Lou Armstrong. He's not super famous or nothing like that, but he's definitely
You
somebody
don't
that
need
I
to
look at
be.
and I'm like, yeah, you know
That's
what I
what I
mean?
tell you. The whole 200. Like, look, he probably doesn't even know that you think that he's like inspirational or somebody that you look up to or whatever. It's always that. You don't need fame. Like, to me, fame is relative. I'm not a person that, like, I'm a cheerleader. Like, I love, like, listen, you got this album out, I will post it, I will cheer you on, I will celebrate you. That is me. But I don't need you to be famous. Like, I'm not a groupie, or I'm not like a
Yeah, yeah,
fangirl. I am a celebrator, because I don't give a damn how much money you make, um who you are or who you're known for. Like, it's what you stand for that impresses me. So all of that, like, I've been in rooms with famous people, and I'm not like, oh my god, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
for
yeah.
me, it's just about your character. Like, so that guy probably doesn't even know that he's being influential to anybody.
Right?
But the
Probably.
minor little things is what matters. I want you to tell everybody where they can find you too. What's your next what's your next project? All of those things. You gotta plug yourself. You're out
Yeah,
here
nah, I
for.
got you. So again, I like to deal with independent artists. Y'all can find me on all social media platforms. I mean, I'm on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. You heard first or JHF underscore Boston. I have my own website. You can Google You Heard First. I mean, my website
Are
should
you
pull up.
are you gonna be working on small amounts, like maybe having hoodies or merch, a little bit of merch, and then
Yeah,
eventually
yes,
turn
that
into
is
a clothing
all in.
line?
Yes, so exactly. I'm gonna start with a little bit of merch. That's all. I'm gonna start with a little bit of merch, but the goal is to have a full out clothing line at some point. I would love to get that something
That's
like that
possible.
popping. Yeah,
Listen,
right.
it's easier these days. It's easier like than it was 20 years ago. Like you had to have actual sketch artists doing things. Now you really like
Yeah,
could do it on a
you
website.
can finesse it on yourself,
Exactly.
right?
Finesse. Would your wife help you with that? Like that would be cool if you had like a his and her line and she
Yeah,
helps.
yeah,
Look,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
giving you
That would be
guys advice.
fire. No, I would be all up for something like that. You
She would
right. You
like
right.
that. Does she like stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She does. She does.
Is she your business partner in this kind of stuff, or she leaves herself out of it?
No, she is actually my. She's officially like my partner with the LLC and all of that. Her name is under all of that as well.
I love a power couple. Next time, bring her. Tell her to say
I,
hi.
I will.
She,
I will. I
is
will. I
she
will.
is she in the limelight? Like she likes being on social media, or she's just not one of those people?
Nah, she's not one of those
Listen,
people
I
at
get it.
all.
I get it. Listen. I've had that in my past, so it's okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
hmm what future projects do you have coming out? What future
So
artists are coming out?
February 2nd,
hmm
we working on we got a joint. Actually, the joint is called Intro, and this is with Espresso Black.
Oh, okay.
He,
I've seen his stuff.
yeah,
He's been very supportive. So shout out to Espresso Black because
yeah, yeah,
I've seen his
yeah.
name a lot on my page too, and I appreciate
Nice.
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nice, nice. Yeah, so we're gonna do a video. We're gonna do a video with him. He's gonna be the artist for this video. And again, it's gonna start. This is all being taking place in Brooklyn. Actually, we're gonna do some
The
scenes
one,
in
yeah.
Manhattan too.
Okay.
This February 2nd, which is like not even
I
2
know
weeks
it's
away.
weeks away. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
So
you
you're
know
gonna
it's gonna
be
start
there
at.
recording, and does the music video come out February 2nd, or that's when you'll be?
No, we're actually doing the recording and all of
Okay.
that
Okay.
on February 2nd. I mean, it doesn't take too much longer
Yeah.
after that. It probably take like a
Edits.
week or two. Yeah,
Okay.
with the edits and all of that.
Send it to
And
me.
it'll be
I'll
out.
share for sure.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll definitely send it to you. I'll look out for that. Whoever's tapped in right now, look out for that. That's the next project coming out
If
right now.
somebody wanted to work with you, they could DM you. They could reach out on the
Yes.
website. All of that stuff.
Yep. DM me. Let me know. What's on your mind. Well, and we see what we could do about that.
I appreciate you, Joel. Listen,
Feelings
I
mutual.
almost didn't
Feelings are
even.
mutual.
I almost didn't mention your name. So my studio manager's like, but what's his name? And I'm like, I don't want to tell you because he was weird about telling people his name. And I get it. Artists like will come on here. I mean, I had all kinds of people come on here that don't use their real name, which whatever.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like, Joel, whispering it, but you said it, so it's good. Now I'm gonna have
Nah,
it
and
on the
plus
show.
when you had said that, I'm like, it sounds crazy
When
if
you
I'm be like,
asked
oh, my
me-
name's You Heard First.
Yeah, when I asked you the other day, I was like, oh, so how am I introducing you? How am I putting you
Yeah.
on the flyer?
Yeah.
Because I know, like, some people will never use their regular name. Like, I know people with the most normal names, and then their artist name is like something crazy, and I'm like, okay, we'll use this artist name, okay. But
Yeah.
it was nice to meet you. I really appreciate. Like, listen, you've
Right
been
back at
such
you.
a supportive person. I mean, other friends, other people on my podcast, or even just friends of mine, know who you are just by, you heard first.
Well,
Boston.
you
Yeah.
actually been very supportive too. So I like to say that I
Listen, I'll
appreciate
always
you and
do
thank
that.
you
I appreciate
as
you.
well because
Always.
And I could tell we kind of, even though this is our first time
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
talking, but just a little bit here and there. I said, oh, I could click with homie, with
I
the
already
homie
knew.
over there.
Honestly, I don't really put people on the show that I don't feel that I have a level of respect for or like camaraderie because that it's big for me. Like I can't just put someone on the show because they got a name for themselves. That's really not what I'm trying to do. Like I'm just trying to build and let people know that there's like small artists or there's people out here that are independent or just business savvy people. I've had people on here that have really no name, but they have like a beautiful story. So for me, it's really about the story. It's really about like the conversations to be had. I'll never have
Heard
somebody
you.
on here that I'm like, this person's rude. Nah, we're not doing that. I really
Yeah.
love mutual support, but I'm always going to be that cheerleader for you. So I appreciate you truly. It was a good
Right,
time.
right back at
We'll
you.
share stuff so that we can support each other. And listen, maybe I'll be
You're
I'm over
amazing.
here
You're
like February
amazing.
2nd is in a few weeks. I want to be in Brooklyn in February.
Yo, pull up, pull up. Y'all
Yeah,
can
oh
pull up.
yeah, I'm just gonna show up.
Y'all can pull up. Y'all can
Yeah,
pull up and start
listen,
at 2 o'clock.
listen. I definitely have to take a northern trip. I want to go all to the tri-state area soon because I miss it. It's like a
Where you
whole
at?
culture.
You in Orlando?
Yeah, come
Okay,
on, go
yeah.
to Disney. We're around.
Holla, holla, holla,
Listen, yeah,
holla.
but there's so many cool places too here, like that have like independent artists.
Yeah.
So many places, like I mean, Commission Beer Chamber and Austin's, and just a lot of places that are small and local, but like the vibe is really good. Yeah,
I believe
there's a
that.
lot of
I
New
believe that.
Yorkers out here too, so there's a lot of good industry people. Listen, I
Nice.
might put you on to some people so you guys can communicate. Seriously, all right?
I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm with
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I appreciate you. What's
Appreciate
your
you as well.
what's your
Appreciate you as well.
handles? Again, repeat them so that people could go ahead and follow, go support you, all of that.
Yup, it's you heard first or JHF_Boston. Holla. I mean,
Boston.
it'll come up all platforms. All
I
platforms.
know, I follow you. He said Boston. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Guys,
Right
thank you
back
so
at
much
you.
for
Right back
being
at you.
tuned in. Uh, I'm just going to leave it at that. Bye.
Thank you so much. I
Bye.
appreciate you.
Take care.
Have a good
You
night.
too.
All right. All right. All right, bro.